and Amy have a heart-to-heart. Emmerdale spoilers follow for the latest episode to air on TV and streaming service ITVX. Emmerdale has confirmed Matty Barton's baby decision in tonight's episode. A broody Amy previously told Matty that she wants them to start looking into options for them to begin a family together and had made plans to start renting a house, leaving him stunned. In the latest installment, Amy apologized to Matty for springing the news on him out of the blue, especially when they had long-term plans to save to buy a house. In response, Matty explained that he had other reasons for being hesitant. "Ames, I don't want you to think that I never want kids," he said. "I do. It's just that sense of responsibility. Knowing that everything you do is gonna have a massive effect on that other person. There's an added pressure now, isn't there? Social media, everyone knowing everything about other people's lives. It wouldn't take long for other kids to find out, Matty. Kids don't care if you're gay, straight, trans," Amy reassured him. "They love you regardless as long as you love them back." "Yeah, but I just wouldn't want to make their life any harder, or lose them because someone doesn't see me as a fit parent," Marty said, tearing up. "I see you as the man I fell in love with, and they would see you as the best dad in the world," Amy replied as she gave him a kiss. In the end, Matty said yes to the idea of starting a family with Amy, much to her delight. He said he was up for renting as well, but wanted to go down the adoption route. The two brought in Amy's son Kyle to tell him about their plans, and he gave them his blessing, as long as he gets a sister. Elsewhere in the episode, the truth about Anthony Fox's murder was revealed, as it was confirmed that Aaron Dingle isn't the killer. The quiet hum of the Emmerdale countryside seemed to amplify the unspoken words hanging heavy in the air between Marty Barton and Amy Wyatt. The idyllic backdrop, usually a source of comfort and peace, felt charged with the weight of their recent conversation. Amy's impulsive suggestion of starting a family had landed like a bombshell, leaving Matty reeling. While Amy had envisioned a future filled with the laughter of children and the warmth of a family unit, Marty's reaction had been a mix of surprise, apprehension, and a deep-seated fear. Amy, recognizing the turmoil her words had caused, initiated the conversation, her voice soft and laced with regret. "Marty, I'm so sorry," she began, her eyes searching his. "I know I sprung the whole baby thing on you. It wasn't fair, especially when we've always talked about saving up to buy a house together. I got carried away, and I truly didn't mean to make you feel pressured." Matty sighed, the tension visibly leaving his shoulders. He appreciated Amy's apology, but the issue ran deeper than just the timing of the conversation. "Ames, it's not just about the house," he confessed, his voice tinged with vulnerability. "Please don't think I never want kids. I do. The idea of being a dad, it's something I've thought about, something I've wanted, deep down. But..." He paused, searching for the right words to articulate the complex emotions swirling within him. "It's the responsibility, Ames, the sheer weight of it. Knowing that every single thing you do, every decision you make, has this massive lifelong impact on another human being. That's terrifying. And it feels even more intense now, doesn't it? With social media, everyone knowing everything about everyone else's lives, the pressure feels immense." Matty's voice cracked slightly, revealing the raw vulnerability beneath his tough exterior. He continued, his gaze dropping to his hands. "It wouldn't take long for other kids to find out about me, about who I am." Amy's heart ached for Matty. She understood his fears, the societal prejudices he had faced, and the internal struggles he had battled. She reached out, gently taking his hand in hers. "Matty," she said, her voice firm but gentle, "kids don't care if you're gay, straight, trans, they love you regardless. As long as you love them back, that's all that matters." Matty's eyes met hers, a flicker of doubt still lingering. "Yeah, but what if it's not enough? What if I make their life harder? What if I lose them because someone somewhere doesn't see me as a fit parent?" His voice was barely a whisper, thick with unshed tears. Amy's grip tightened on his hand. "Marty," she said, her voice filled with unwavering conviction, "I see you. I see the man I fell in love with. The kind, compassionate, and incredibly loving man who deserves all the happiness in the world. And any child lucky enough to have you as a father would see exactly what I see. They would see the best dad in the world." She leaned in and kissed him softly, a promise of unwavering support and unconditional love. In that moment, surrounded by the quiet beauty of the Emmerdale countryside, Marty felt a shift within him. He felt the weight of his fears begin to lessen, replaced by a glimmer of hope. He looked at Amy, her eyes shining with love and belief in him. And he knew he couldn't let his fears dictate their future. "Okay," he said, a smile slowly spreading across his face. "Okay, Ames, let's do it." Amy's face lit up, her joy radiating outwards. "Really?" She breathed, her eyes sparkling with happiness. Marty nodded. "Really, I'm in. Renting is fine, but I've been thinking. I think I'd like to explore adoption. It feels right." Amy's smile widened. "That's wonderful, Marty. That's perfect. Whatever path we take, we'll do it together." With their decision made, a sense of excitement filled the air. They knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but they were ready to face it together, hand in hand. They decided to include Amy's son, Kyle, in their plans. Gathering him close, they shared their news, explaining their desire to expand their family. Kyle, initially surprised, quickly embraced the idea, his only condition. "As long as I get a sister," he exclaimed, his face beaming. Marty and Amy exchanged delighted glances. Their journey to parenthood had begun, filled with hope, love, and the promise of a bright future. The fears that had initially held Marty back were still present, but now they were overshadowed by the overwhelming love and support he felt from Amy and Kyle. He knew the road ahead might be challenging, but he also knew that he wasn't alone. He had Amy and Kyle by his side, and together they could face anything. This new chapter in their lives was a testament to their love, their resilience, and their unwavering belief in each other. It was a story of acceptance, of overcoming adversity, and of building a family bound not by blood, but by love. And as they looked towards the future, they knew that their little family, whatever form it might take, would be filled with the warmth, laughter, and unconditional love that they so deeply desired. The Emmerdale countryside, once a silent witness to their anxieties, now seemed to smile upon their newfound happiness, a symbol of the joyous journey that lay ahead. Their heart-to-heart had cleared the air, paving the way for a future filled with the pitter-patter of little feet and the echoes of happy laughter, a future they would build together, brick by loving brick. The crisp air of Emmerdale carried the scent of freshly cut grass and damp earth, a familiar comfort that usually calmed Matty Barton. But today, the tranquility of the countryside offered no solace. He sat on the edge of the wooden porch, his gaze fixed on the distant rolling hills, his mind a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. Amy's recent suggestion of starting a family had stirred a tempest within him, a mixture of longing and deep-seated fear. He loved Amy, he truly did, and the idea of sharing his life with her and a child was something he'd secretly dreamt of. But the reality of it, the sheer weight of responsibility and the potential for societal judgment, felt like a crushing burden. Amy, watching him from the doorway, recognized the turmoil etched on his face. She knew she had been impulsive, her excitement about the prospect of a family overshadowing her sensitivity to Matty's concerns. She gently approached him, her footsteps barely disturbing the stillness. Sitting beside him, she took his hand in hers, her touch warm and reassuring. "Matty," she began softly, her voice laced with genuine regret, "I'm so sorry. I know I blindsided you. Talking about babies. Renting a house, I just got carried away. It wasn't fair of me to spring it on you like that, especially when we've both been working so hard towards buying our own place." Matty sighed, the tension in his shoulders easing slightly. He knew Amy's heart was in the right place, but her words had touched a raw nerve, a place where his deepest insecurities resided. "Ames," he said, his voice low and hesitant, "it's not just about the house. It's more complicated than that." He paused, struggling to articulate the complex web of emotions he was experiencing. "Don't think I don't want kids," he continued, his gaze still fixed on the horizon. "The thought of being a dad, it's something I've always wanted, deep down, but it's also terrifying. The responsibility, the thought of shaping another human being's life, it's overwhelming." Amy listened patiently, her eyes filled with understanding. She knew Matty's journey had been far from easy. She knew the prejudices he had faced, the battles he had fought to be true to himself. And she knew the fear that lurked beneath his calm exterior, the fear of being judged, of being deemed unfit by a society that often struggled to understand and accept differences.